mad, sell them, lads. You're not wasting that.
He's going, bro.
You okay? You okay? It's all right.
How important are drugs and spice to the prison economy, as it were?
They're absolutely everything. All of them will do it. And it's just rife. I mean, it's literally all they do.
A disused jail is familiar territory for this former prison worker who doesn't want to be identified. She quit the service recently after she says drugs made conditions unbearable.
There's so much stuff that gets in. They'll always find something. It's boredom. They've nothing else to do.
That's a light one, bro.
These videos of prisoners using drugs are filmed by other prisoners on contraband phones against prison rules and brazenly posted to social media.
Spice normally will either go one way or the other. They'll either be really aggressive or they'll be unconscious.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh. So my name's Chris Buckland and I am a recovering drug addict and former criminal.
Chris got out of prison just over a year ago. When his cellmates overdosed on the drug Spice, he saw just how horrific the effects can be.
They were convulsing, I mean, from their head through their fingers down to their toes. It was only a young lad, he was 19 years old, and I'll never forget the fear in his eyes that I saw. He actually bit through his tongue and his tongue was hanging out, there was blood everywhere.
Chris says he was commended by prison authorities for giving first aid and alerting the guards. He's since set up a YouTube channel.
When I got to the prison, it was a bit weird for me. I've been in prison twice before.
And works with charities to help former prisoners stay out of trouble. When drugs and prisons are mentioned, there's one that dominates the headlines: Spice. It's a very strong man-made cannabis, with some variations more potent and more dangerous than others.
That's the merchandise, rude boy.
It's coming in on people's clothing. They'll soak the socks, especially any sort of woolly jumpers, anything like that. They'll literally be selling balls of fluff. Then people they get their vape, they heat it up, the smoke comes off, they inhale it, and then bosh, they just generally just hit the deck.
Those running our prisons say this domination of drugs also has a knock-on to our lives outside prison walls.
Drugs drive violence in prisons, so they're not being effectively rehabilitated or reformed. That's why people should be concerned, because people will want to be living in a society where when people come out of prison, they're less likely to offend and less likely to create more victims.
And this violence, combined with drug use, has consequences for a service we all rely on.
The ambulance would be in the yard every single night. You could almost set your clock by it. After bang up, someone would have a spice attack. Then the ambulance would turn up.
Standard fare is you go at least once a month to prison. Personally, I managed to go 3 times in one day during a 12-hour shift.
Ambulances are spending more time attending drug-related incidents at prisons. A paramedic who works in the southeast spoke to me anonymously. He's played here by an actor.
You can't move anywhere in a rush, because if you open a gate, as soon as you walk through it, you have to lock it. At someone's house, it's normally less than 3 minutes before we're with the patient, but at prison, it can still take half hour to get to your patient.
And when paramedics finally arrive, they're often faced with the effects of newer and more powerful drugs.
Prisons are now allowing prisoners to vape in their cells, so spice is getting mixed in with opiates, which is causing massive problems of real quick overdoses, and then prisoners almost and actually dying.
Synthetic opioids are the next type of drug that we're worried about. We're worried about that period of time when people don't know what they're taking, they don't know the strength, and they don't know how it's going to affect them.
In terms of how the drugs are getting in, we last reported on the rise of drones carrying contraband to cell windows. But there are other ways.
I've been asked to bring stuff in, and it is tempting, especially when you can triple your wages, but they've got you then. It's just not worth the risk.
The government says prisons are doing more to support prisoners with drug dependencies, with a new focus on enabling recovery, reducing demand and restricting supply.
I can't imagine it ever being any better. At the moment, their main problem is spice and the fact that they're just locked up for 23.5 hours a day.
Create a life for people that's better than the one they had before. Teach them that crime isn't the way forward. There are better ways.
Ben Moore, BBC South East Today.